I had the pleasure of meeting Chuck's father, George. And you can almost hear Chuck say this. He says, Norm, you know what my dad said to me the other day? He says, you know what I should do when I'm reading? He says, I should have a mirror on the table beside me so that I could look over at it every once in a while and see if I was enjoying the book. Some people in this room have come from quite a distance, different parts of Canada and also Hawaii, and that refers to Chuck's sister, Donna. So Donna, aloha, if you wouldn't mind, please.
As Norm said, my name is Donna, and that's my husband Ernie. And I really want to thank you all for this tribute. It's fantastic. It's wonderful. Like in all families, we have good times and some not so good times. Our family, when I was born, our family was broken up. And Chuck went with our father, George, and I went with my mother. And after when I was about 2 years old, I moved to a little town from Winnipeg, to a little town, Sulikout, and in Ontario, Canada. And then when I was in 5th grade, Chuck and George came to Sulikout. And there was a little kind of a scene there. And after that, we lost track of each other. And then about 20 years later, I got a notice, a letter in the mail, and it was from Ernie's aunt. It was saying that George Davis had died, and then leaving her son, Charles, and a daughter, Donna. So I wrote Chuck, and he responded. And this was the starting that we get to know each other. And I was about 30 at the time. But it was really terrific. We have 5 children, Ernie and I, and we visit back and forth. Edna, Stephanie, and Chuck came to Hawaii a few times, and we came here every chance we got. We go to Sulikout every year, and so we drop there on the way there and on the way back. And if you're ever in Surrey, drop and see Edna. She's a terrific cook. But anyways, all the kids, all my children and their children met Chuck, and they visited every once in a while in here. And this one time, our son says, well, he thought Chuck was terrific, and he knew everything, and he was sharp. And he says, and Mom, he's got hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of books. And he says, he sure is smart, but it's a little messy, his den. And then they also mentioned, in fact, all my children mentioned, Chuck's driving. I don't know. I don't know if this was just happening, but it happened with children and it happened with me. He drives and it's so on the way, I drove with him and Edna to Portland one year, and all the way there. And then when we got there, half an hour later, I was still going like this. But anyways, we always arrived safe, and you know, glad to be there. So it was pretty terrific. Okay, Ernie, my husband, would always tease me. He'd say, Chuck's got the brains, but you got the looks. So that kind of made up things. And we had a good visit last November. Actually, we had better visited in June and July, I think. But when we were in here in July, Chuck and Edna showed us a game, a card game, and it was called golf. So we learned how to play golf. So anyways, I brought it home to my children and grandchildren, and I pulled my daughter on the big island, and I said, "What are you doing?" And she said, "We're at camp." I said, "Well, what are you doing at camp?" And she said, "Playing cards." I said, "Oh, what are you playing?" And 2 days before I left, my granddaughter turned 8, texted me on the phone, and she lives downstairs. She texted me on the phone and she says, "Grandma, I'm coming up to play Uncle Chuck." So we have an Uncle Chuck game. Anyways, thank you all. Okay, love you, brother.